That guy can break through this darkness. What kind of method is this? From the moment I became aware of my fate, I knew that this was a lonely path. From the beginning when I pursued the ultimate of martial arts, to the point where I started devouring the slates, my life has been filled with incidents, but I don't regret it. I met all sorts of people along the way, including brothers Ku Dang, Dugu, Xuanyuan. And, of course, Luo Zheng. They have always been there in my heart, accompanying and guiding me, so the journey towards my mission has never felt lonely. Speaking of which, I really want to thank them. Back then, after successfully eliminating Dongfang Chunjun and returning safely from the Abyss Demon region, I thought everything would finally come to an end. I could continue to live a peaceful life with Yingqing. Now it seems that I was mistaken. The mission was not over, it was just postponed. The power of the rules contained in the slates is too much for me to bear. I have already reached my limit after devouring over 300 slates in recent years. Qiyu didn't encourage the use of such power, because the price of releasing the power was one's own life. From the moment I devoured the first slate, I was fated to walk on a path of no return. I was fortunate to meet Yingqing in my last years. I wonder if she will weep a lot when she hears the news about me. She was the only light that shone for me during this dark and depressing time. I promised her that I would never leave her again, but it seems that I'm about to break that promise. Don't be sad, Yinggoing. Wait for me, we will be husband and wife again in our next life. Such a strong light. Brother Tianming. What kind of power is this? How can it break through the darkness of the Abyss Demon region? He must be stopped. It has been stopped. My father insisted on letting Tianming come to the Saint Mountain with me. Could it be that he had predicted a disaster and asked Tianming to sacrifice himself? Tianming. Although this golden light can break through the darkness, it may not be unstoppable. I'll draw all of the Abyss Demon region's power, regardless of how powerful his attack is, it will be consumed by my black energy. What? No. Impossible. I control the Abyss Demon region, how could I be defeated by a mere great perfection? Han Qingdi. Now, hurry. Yes. I found it. How dare you try to break my soul mark? No. Don't. Don't break it. Let me go, Shut up, who cares about you? It's done. Let's place him in my inner world first. It's finally over. What's going on? My soul mark was erased by Luo Zheng. Another person broke through Han Kangyan's defense, and the necklace was cut off by Luo Zheng. Useless. With the power of the Abyss Demon region, you couldn't even deal with a great perfection true god. What's the point of us having you here? Eldest brother, does this mean we have no way to restrain Luo Zheng in the Saint Mountain? No. There is another way. And it's the last bit of value that he has. I'll give you another chance. Those gods' martial coins that you collected before, smelt them, then write a rule directed at Luo Zheng on the ruling slate. Yes. Pu Jie, Hu Bo. Here. Go and find the person that silenced God's domain earlier. A hindrance like that must not be kept alive. Understood. It's all because of my father's selfishness. When he handed the soaring snake sword to Tianming, he probably predicted that this day would come. That Tianming would sacrifice himself for me. Tianming, with your talent, it will only take you a few decades to start over again and come back. I'll never let you die. I know what the Xuanyuan guards have promised you. But brother Tianming will not die in vain. 11 people have attacked him before, and to them, I say, come out and offer your lives to this sword. Not good. We are no match for him. Run. Want to run? I don't know anything. I mean no harm. You mean no harm now, but when you attacked us, this was not what you thought. We won't be able to make it out alive this way. Let's join forces and fight him with all our might. Okay. Let's fight him. He has absorbed all of our attacks. Your life is spared for Han Billo's sake. Once Han Qingoi loses his value to the Xuanyuan guards, you should know what will happen to the Han clan. If you understood the situation, then you would leave the Han clan with Bila immediately after leaving the Saint Mountain. I understand. But Tianming is a secondary being. The memories in the memory flame are incomplete. I wonder if Father is able to restore his memories from the universe of great expanse. Luo Zheng, this plane has changed. That is, the Saint Springs have appeared. I didn't expect that there would be 5 holy springs this time. There are so many. So do we stand a chance? Let's go. Okay. A being created by the Saint Spring. Is this the test of the Saint Spring? If this Silver Man is also made of energy, then it should be easily transformed by the Red Lotus. It can't be transformed. It seems that the Silver Man's strength comes from the body of the Saint Mountain. The Saint Mountain has been here for countless years, but neither saints nor other shore cultivators were able to enter it. Maybe it's because it contains an unbeatable treasure, or it's an extremely powerful treasure on its own. 9 divine stars. I'm at a disadvantage in a battle of pure strength. It's the golden light again. Ever since merged with the red-eyed girl, whenever I have a fierce confrontation physical power, the golden light would appear. Although this power is useful, I wonder what this true meaning of Tao is. Looks like the next test will be even tougher. I wonder how Chen Wangyijian is doing. Ha! The Silver Man who is fighting against him is using a sword. Could it be that the Silver Men attack according to what their opponent does? Emotion severing divine Tao. I can't believe that you're using my technique. The strength of this Silver Man's emotion severing divine Tao is not bad. It's not over. Why are you attacking me? Go fight the Silver Men. So what if we defeat the Silver Men first? You'll still want to compete with me afterwards. It's better to deal with small fries like you first before anything else. It seems that the Silver Men attack using the techniques of their opponents. The number of Silver Men matches the number of people that were at a Saint Spring from the start. The number will gradually increase, but I don't know how much it will increase. From my previous encounter, it seems that they can't use my true meaning of Tao, so I'll continue to fight with my fists. In the chaos. At last, we finally get out of that mess. There's something up ahead. Ha! That is God's domain. It's an exquisite and beautiful world. Humph. Chiyu took a lot of effort to create this world. Of course it won't be ordinary, it's still a bit far away. With the current speed of the heaven flying ship, we'd need roughly 5 pays to reach it. How many divine crystals do we have left on this heaven flying ship? We have about 300 divine crystals left, which are enough for us to return. Use all these divine crystals to prepare the slaughter punishment moonlight. If we use up all the divine crystals, won't we be unable to return? And do we really need to use the slaughter punishment moonlight against those 9 Li guards? It seems unnecessary, right? Be prepared. I have the feeling that we'll have a tough battle ahead occupy of us. Besides, if we successfully God's domain, it would have the resources we need to return. Yes. Everyone get ready, we'll have a fierce battle 5 days. Inside the Saint Mountain. The last one. The number has increased to 30 at a time, and it is almost over. There are no more Silver Men coming out. This means I've passed. According to Father's words, as long as one bathes in a silver saint spring, one can become a saint. I've already faced 6 Silver Men. I have to continue to fight steadily. Great perfection, true God Lang Song. This Saint Spring is not something that someone like you can possess. You're overestimating yourself too much. Look. Luo Zheng has already started bathing in the Saint Spring. Another saint is about to be born. Luo Zheng has already passed. So fast. Nonsense. His strength has already surpassed a saint. This is well deserved. Indeed, Luo Zhang is already bathing in the saint spring. But there's something wrong. The saint spring seems unable to integrate into his body. How dare you get distracted when you're fighting me? Why did Kai Yu arrange such a test for people to fight openly? If the guards Xuanyuan hadn't killed the 9 Li race, then would the 9 Li race also have gone through internal massacres to become saints? No, if the 9 Li race were still present, they would have been a united force. Perhaps they would have completed the selection process before entering the Saint Mountain. These silver men are purely a test. Why isn't there any response after bathing for so long? Didn't Father say that most of the Saint Spring would enter the Dantian during the bath, or integrate with the inner world? The spring water isn't entering my body. What's going on? Number 9527, do you know what's going on? This Saint Spring is a method to move souls. The spring water enters the Dantian, which transforms the inner world into rebirth land, also known as a universe. Your life will then be connected to the rebirth land, granting you some extra power from God's domain as well as the right of rebirth. This is the essence of a saint. Since it seems to be incompatible with you, it means that you can't connect your life to a rebirth land. There must be a why I can't reason integrate with the Saint Spring. Who knows what the reason is? Maybe the Saint Spring doesn't like you. What kind of reason is that? My father built the universe of great expanse, so why can't I create the great Zheng universe? I'll try to forcefully drive the spring water into my inner world. Still not working. Even if I force it in, it is still being rejected. How can this be? So it seems that I can't become a saint at all. Oh well, there's nothing to regret. Although the rebirth land can give you the opportunity to be reborn, it comes at a price. I am much more interested in the original will of the Saint Mountain. Original will of the Saint Mountain. Once a world is out of the control of its creator, it will develop its own will. This is a law that cannot be avoided in the grand world cultivation method. Since God's domain has been out of Chiyu's hands for such a long time, it should have developed its own will a long time ago. I think the problem lies within this Saint Mountain. Is this original will in the maze that my father mentioned? It's very likely, but I'm just guessing. We'll see what happens when we find the maze. There are indeed many secrets hidden in the Saint Mountain, which should be explored properly. Chen Wangyijian is still fighting, but with his abilities, it won't be a problem. Patriarch of the Qianlong clan. It seems that he lost the battle against the others. Well, my strength is not good enough. It seems that I have no hope of becoming a saint. I wanted to use this opportunity to lead my clan to the top. Patriarch of the Qianlong clan. Luo Zheng. Come to my Saint Spring. What? You mean I can take your Saint Spring for myself? That's right. It seems that I can't build my rebirth land. Come here. Yes. Okay. Why did you give it to him? I have 3rd grade supreme treasure of belief at home. If you give me the Saint Spring, then I'll present the treasure to you in return. I won't retract my words. Believe me. I have something too. My ancestors in the Zhao clan passed down a world-defying divine ability. Those are nothing. My clan is rich. I can give you whatever you want. How do you compare these things with a saint's seat? It's not even worth mentioning. Since you're aware of that, don't waste your breath. I have given this Saint Spring to the patriarch of the Qianlong clan. You all should leave. Otherwise, don't blame me for what happens next. Hey, forget it. Let's go. Humph. We met in the evil ghost region through fate. Now I'm unable to integrate with the Saint Spring. Take this Saint Spring of mine as a thank you for the help you've given me. Brother Luo Zheng, thank you for your kindness. If you need me in the future, just let me know. Okay. Chen Wangyi Ijin can't use the power of primitive fear. If those sub-saints were to attack him together, I'm afraid that he would be in danger. The same goes for the patriarch of the Qianlong clan. It may take a while to defeat the Silver Men, so I'll guard here first. Commandment Mountain. Use up all the collected God's martial coins. it's enough to create a curse that will ensure Luo Zheng's death. Go. Understood. If Luo Zheng is in the Saint Mountain. The words, Saint Mountain, keep disappearing. My lord, it seems that the rules on the slate can't involve the Saint Mountain. Then replace it with God's domain. Yes. Luo Zheng, you have ruined my plans multiple times. This time, I will make sure you have no place to be buried. Once Luo Zheng steps into God's domain. Finally, it's over. Luo Zheng, did you see that? I passed. I saw it. Finally, the day of becoming a saint has come. His body is exuding a silver light, so this is the normal situation, huh? Top of God's domain. Outside the Saint Mountain. This kind of turmoil can only be the construction of a universe. The Saint Mountain has not even been opened one day. Is it Luo Zheng? He's constructing his universe now, it's going to take him a long time. The patriarch of the Qianlong clan has also started to bathe in the Saint Spring. So both of them are now in contact with the Saint Spring. It's now impossible for others to take the springs away. As for the other 3 Saint Springs, let them fight over it slowly, they won't be able to determine the winner in a short period of time. It is indeed a pity that I cannot become a saint, but there are more important things to accomplish now. Luo Zheng is so strong, yet he was rejected by the Saint Spring. What a pity that such a great opportunity was wasted. Half an hour later, after entering the Saint Mountain, the Infinity Ruler changed its direction and pointed to the end of this plain. There must be something there. Another canyon. 1 incense stick of time later. Dead end. But the ruler is clearly pointing in this direction. The Infinity Ruler is moving again. It's pointing in this direction. This part of the mountain seems a bit different. Wow, it is indeed the entrance of the maze. It's hidden quite well. If I weren't guided by the Infinity Ruler, then it would have been difficult to find. This passage is similar to the one Master simulated in the True Extinction Road. I wonder if I can make it out of this maze. Does this maze have anything to do with the original will? 3 days later. Fortunately, the Infinity Ruler changes direction every time I make a turn, guiding me along the correct path. It's just that it's been 3 days, and I still can't see the end of the maze. Ha, what's up ahead? Fragments of time. There is a strong aura of time law on the wall, which is exactly the same as the time sea. These sounds. It sounds like someone is sleeping. It doesn't appear to come from far away. I'll take a look. Outside God's domain. After breaking through God's domain's barrier, we should be able to return to the mother world. I wonder how the Rose sect is doing. After being away for so long, I am afraid that time has changed a lot of things, and the Rose sect in my memory is no longer the same. But those things are not important. What I am looking forward to is seeing my disciples and clan members again. That is. Something is coming. It's so fast. Is it a creature wandering in chaos? No, that's not a creature. It's a flying ship. Flying ship. They were common in the mother world, but not here. We're on the edge of chaos. Who would have been so bored to come here? Besides, the flying ship is pretty close to us. Unless they found God's domain, and even set it as a target. What do you think? We need to determine their intentions. No matter what that is, once they discover God's domain, the situation will be very troublesome. If their strength is ordinary, just let them come. It's not a big deal. I wonder if Zheng has succeeded in becoming a saint. Zheng has entered the Saint Mountain. The biggest difficulty has been solved. It doesn't matter whether he can become a saint or not, but... Your Majesty, we have to hide. There is a flying ship coming towards God's domain. We can't tell if it's an enemy or a friend. Please take shelter. A flying ship. Where is it? There it is. It's becoming more and more clear that it won't be long before it arrives here. Could this be the outside danger that was predicted with the star plate? Regardless, it's not a good thing to have outsiders appearing at this critical moment. For your safety, Your Majesty, please enter the small world that I have prepared. While hiding inside may provide safety, I will be unaware of what's happening outside. Although my abilities are not as strong as yours, there may be some ways I can assist you. All right. Since that's the case, I'll let Fu set up an array to hide us. 2 hours later, the flying ship. The last divine crystal has been successfully placed. According to the Xuanyuan guards inside God's domain, the 9 Li guards are at the top of God's domain, but we have not detected their presence yet. We have arrived at God's domain. Let's activate the slaughter punishment Moonlight first. Yes. The slaughter punishment Moonlight has been activated. All right, let the flying ship land on top of God's domain, then we'll go and take a look. God's domain is much larger than I imagined. Well, it is the world created by Kai-Yu. What's this? I don't know, but it's a powerful treasure. Lord Wei Xian, even you failed to break this with your full strength. I heard that Kai-Yu a supreme treasure called the Heavenly Mirror Shield. It is supposed to be in the shape of a triangle, and it is said that it can't be destroyed by any force in the world. Is this the Heavenly Mirror Shield? This treasure is in the shape of a triangle, and we are in the world that Kai-Yu created, so it should be it. No wonder Pang Miao said that we couldn't enter God's domain directly. He said that there are barriers in the space channels. It took them more than 10 years to open a temporary gap in the space barriers to slip in. But those 9 Li guards arrived here a long time ago. They must have been trying to break the space barrier day and night. If we can find them and kill them, we can just continue their work and break the space barrier. The spot where they've been drilling must have strong space fluctuations. Although the uppermost part of God's domain is wide, it won't be difficult to find that spot. That's right. What we need to do is just to observe the space fluctuation ahead with our divine sense. Let's go. Yes. The 4-spirit concealment array has been set up. This array can conceal our presence completely, including our breath of life and soul. The flying ship is approaching us. I don't know if they are enemies or friends. But if they are enemies, I'll immediately enter God's domain. Hee. Since my Xuanidi clan has chosen this path, how can there be any reason to retreat when encountering difficulties? Although I Li Xuanidi am not strong enough, I will do my best. They are coming this way. We'd better keep silent. My array can conceal everything. Whether they can discover us has nothing to do with the amount of noise we make. Even if you shout at them, they won't hear us, so you can rest assured. Ha! There seems to be space fluctuations ahead. Head that way. Yes. The flying ship has changed direction. It's heading straight for us. To conceal the fluctuations caused by drilling through the spatial barrier from before, I had set up another array, but there may still be slight space fluctuations escaping from it. Eldest brother, they seem to have noticed the space fluctuation. What should we do? Let's observe their actions first before making any decisions. Acting rashly is more likely to alarm them. The flying ship is getting closer and closer, and I have a bad feeling about it. I hope Fu-Er's array can keep us out of their sight. Half an hour later. My lord, there seems to be no spatial fluctuations around here. No, I just sensed a faint fluctuation again. The opponent must have used some means to conceal it, but they are definitely nearby. Let's search this area first. It's likely the Xuanyuan guards, or they could be the individuals contacted by the Xuanyuan guards in God's domain. How can you tell? The space fluctuations have been hidden very well. If the newcomers were outsiders who didn't know anything about God's domain, they would probably try their best to break through God's domain immediately. Even if they felt space fluctuations, they wouldn't think that someone else was trying to break through God's domain. However, they are actually looking for the space fluctuations. Someone must have told them that we are breaking the space barrier, so they are looking for us. Humph, here it is. This concealment array is ingenious. Those 9 Li guards deliberately chose to place a concealment array to hide the space fluctuations. They must have noticed us in advance. But there is no one around. They gave up here and fled, right? No, as long as you stop drilling into the space barrier, it will repair itself. I can feel that treasures were used recently to drill here. which means that they don't intend on abandoning this place. We just need to stay here. Even if they don't come back, we can just keep drilling and break through the space barrier, then we'll enter God's domain before they do. Knowing the space barrier so well, they are undoubtedly helpers recruited by the Xuanyuan guards. Since they came here for us, there's no need for us to hide. We have the upper hand, thanks to Fu Er's array. You want to make a move. The Xuanyuan guards are not to be underestimated. There is a significant gap in strength between us and them, so it's best for Jin Lao and I to lead our people in dealing with them first. Okay, but if the situation becomes unfavorable, we are prepared to fight to the death. Be careful, we'll strike if necessary. Your Majesty, please wait here. We will ensure your safety. Yes, Your Majesty. The strongest among them is the young man with a helmet. I can deal with him, the rest of you can fight the others. Zhang Ling, you should enter the space channel to check the situation. Understood. Fu Er. 4 Spirit Concealment Array, Shatter. This aura. A weakling like you dares to sneak attack me. My lord. Help me. Humph. No one can save you. How courageous. It's amazing how close you hid to us. That attack was with my full strength, yet he easily blocked it. He is much stronger than expected. Jin Lao, I'll trap him first, then we'll kill him together. Understood. Ha. This aura binds the law of space. I'm unable to use the grand teleportation technique. Since you're courting death, then let me fulfill your wish. Secret divine ability. Impressive. You forced me to use my secret divine ability with only one blow. This drop of ethereal blood is extremely precious to me. I never thought I would use it on someone like you. It's actually ethereal blood. Even I would find it extremely difficult to obtain just a drop of it. Someone was willing to give a divine ability made from it to him. He must be a well-respected and prominent person among the Xuanyuan guards. Now that this drop of blood has been forced out, I'll have to use it on you. Go, kill him. This blood mass is not easy to deal with. And you too. This blood sword seems to be able to corrupt everything. Even my 7-colored halo gets weakened after encountering it, so we need to change our countermeasures. This 7-colored halo is the best skill of your new race. I don't understand why you are entangled with the 9 Li guards. However, if you are willing to surrender and turn your backs, I'll spare your lives. My life. It's not up to you to decide. This is the desolate god body. The ancient god's cultivation method has long disappeared in the mother world, but to see it here. The light she is emitting now is more than 10 times stronger than before. If I am hit by this light, my physical body will probably be torn apart. This is the only way. Although this blood corpse can ensure that my body won't be damaged by external forces, it's extremely harmful to myself. Every time I use it, I have to kill myself once, and I have to use a secret method to bring myself back to life. To push me this far, this woman. Humph, that technique must come at an incredible price. Let's see how long you'll last. You. Damn woman. I will. Lu Jia. What are you waiting for? Do it quickly. Got it, I'll find a way to escape. Not good. The Xuanyuan guard must be preparing to use some special technique. They are short-handed, let's go help them. Understood. I've been waiting for this moment. Humph. A bunch of little bus dare to mess up the situation. You've got to be kidding me. Bastard. You think you can sneak up on me like that? Oops, soul blast hit. Humph. Soul attacks of this level won't do anything to me. Will you shut up and do something? Okay. Yeah, yes. I'm done playing with you guys. It's the slaughter punishment moonlight. They even brought out this array. Shift the core of the array to me. Quickly. Okay. I'm in charge now. Ugh. There was no sword light and no aura, you only dodged by instinct, quite the sharp reaction. But let's see if you can dodge my second strike, then I'll truly admire you. You won't harm our leader any further. Kai Jia. Don't. Ha, just an egg rushing against a stone. Kai Jia. Don't be sad. You'll join her soon. This power invisible is so fast and hard to detect. What should I do? The slaughter punishment moonlight array requires a large amount of divine crystals. I'm unable to break such a powerful array. I don't know how effective my chaotic array will be against the slaughter punishment array, but moonlight I need to buy some time. I can only try my best. I can finally see the source of this power clearly, but it is too fast to deal with. Oh. I'm surprised to see someone among you is proficient in arrays. You can counteract the slaughter punishment moonlight. Your attainments in arrays must be quite high. Everyone, leave this place as soon as possible, or you will only get killed. Mahes. People from God's domain, take shelter inside God's domain. I'm no match for these guys, so I'll be going first. The space channel is blocked. Even if you can counteract the slaughter punishment moonlight array, do you think that you can escape from it? You're too naive, aren't you? Your array is ingenious, but how long can it last? We can resist them with my array, but it won't last for too long. Once this slaughter punishment moonlight array returns to normal, everyone will probably die. Since the space channel is blocked, it means our only option is to fight to the death. I don't know how Jung-Er is faring, but I hope that our decision to send him to the Saint Mountain will help us out of this predicament. Inside the Saint Mountain. The deeper I go, the louder the sounds are. The time fragments on the wall are becoming more and more detailed. These fragments are like the seawater in the time sea, they can cut through anything they touch. Maybe this is the seawater of the time sea that has been solidified over time. Let's take a look inside. As expected, it's the seawater of the time sea. Up ahead is a complete space-time. Since that's the case, I can enter and leave at this complete space-time. But I don't know where it leads to and I might not be able to return. I'd better follow the guidance of the Infinity Ruler. The sound has changed. Now it sounds like a baby laughing. What's this? Fortunately, I was able to erase time. There was an amazing power in the colorful spiral. I don't know what it was, but if it had hit me, the consequences would have been unimaginable. I must keep going. Again. It's appearing with the laughter. The Jade Ruler's seal can only be used once in a short period of time. It's better for me to take on this mysterious colorful spiral. It's better to take a risk inside a space-time. It hurts. A colorful desert. What kind of strange place is this? The sand also contains a strong cutting power, just like the fragments. If it weren't for my strong body, I'm afraid that I would have been cut into pieces. Is that a cry that I hear? It sounds like a baby. It's a baby's shadow. Could the breathing and come from this baby? It seems like the shadow is trying to materialize. The colorful spiral has constantly been destroying the shadow, preventing it from materializing. The speed at which it is materializing is getting faster and faster, while the speed of the colorful spiral is getting slower and slower. If it goes on like this, the baby will be able to completely materialize sooner or later. Water from the time sea. I see now. When the colorful spiral struggles to suppress the shadow's materialization, seawater from the time sea will rain down on the shadow to destroy it. The excess seawater then enters the desert, giving the sand particles cutting power. Oh no, it's coming this way. Phew, it's a good thing that the space-time wall did not disappear. I don't know what would have happened if I were caught in that colorful spiral. The scene in the desert should be real. So what does the baby's shadow represent? Why had the water from time sea the rain down to destroy it? Here it comes again, but this time. I'll check the wall on the left. It's still a desert. Everything is exactly the same. Could it be the same space and the same period of time? No. Although it is the same baby's shadow, it's struggling in a different way from before. This should be a different point in time. It seems like I'm looking at past events in this desert that have happened countless times and have been going on forever. What does this endless cycle with the baby and the water from the time sea mean? Sure enough, the process is exactly the same as what happened in the desert just now. What exactly does this mean? Never mind, maybe the answer lies ahead in the corridor. Now that the space-time on both sides can avoid the colorful spiral, I can rely on the walls on both sides to move forward. Half an hour later. There were more spiral attacks, and the laughter became more and more intensive, but the scenes and the space-time on both sides are almost identical. Is this the end of the corridor? Is it colorful sand again? Is it possible that the end of the corridor is still the desert? Sure enough, it's the same desert. It seems that those space-time are all scenes from the past, but what is in front of me is the real desert. But the wind here seems to be much weaker, the tornadoes sweeping around disappeared, and the sand dunes surrounded by shadow babies also collapsed. Could it be that the baby has crawled out from the center of the sand dune? The sound of laughter again. It's that baby, he's really formed. So that's where the spiral in the corridor came from. Ha! The infinity ruler has reversed its direction, which means the baby. Coolo it be that the infinity ruler has been guiding me to him. Why can't I move? Could it be that the baby used some kind of space law? Haven't you seen it yet? This baby is the nascent will of God's domain, and he wants to devour you. The nascent will of God's domain. And it wants to devour me. I have been observing, but I didn't understand the scene in space-time at that time, but after I really came to this desert, I realized that this is how the God's domain maintains its purity. What do you mean by purity? You'd better tell me quick, that guy's coming. Purity is the absence of self-will. Caillou seems to use the time sea to tear up and suppress self-consciousness. What you saw in the space-time just now is the process of previous suppression. But why is his will condensed now? I don't know either. This will should have just been born. Maybe there was a loophole in some part, or the one responsible for crushing the nascent will has fallen. Wait. He is coming. The biggest question now is how to deal with this guy. No need to deal with. The nascent will is now very pure, almost free of distractions and self-thoughts. That's why it takes on the form of a baby. When he devours you, your memory will quickly affect him, and then he will become you. Are you kidding? How can you guarantee that after he devours me, it will be as you said? Do something. I don't want to be devoured by him. Well, since you are so cautious, I can only reluctantly help you again. Can you stand against this nascent will? That's impossible. This is the will of God's domain. To be honest, if I let this nascent will grow for another year or two, I would indeed have no way to deal with him, but now I can use my soul to guide him. He's still coming. You'll see. What did you do? His state changed. It's very simple. He swallowed my split soul, and I contaminated the primordial will. There is only one will in the divided soul, which is to become your food, so now he also thinks he is your food. I can move. The nascent will of God's domain was tamed by you just like that. I have already told you that the nascent will is now free of impurities, and it is no problem for you to let him devour it directly. You are still the one who will survive. I just changed it to a way you can accept, but the result is the same. Hurry up, he can't wait. Okay. I can feel that the nascent will really has no intention of attacking me, so I can try to absorb him into my soul. Not sure what will happen in the end. 2 hours later. Completely absorbed. Outside the Saint Mountain. What happened? Immediately, I felt that everything was a little different. Some knowledge and abilities that did not belong to me in God's domain seemed to appear on me out of thin air. The entire God's domain seems to be under my control. That's right, let's just say that you are now the master of God's domain. Everything in the desert is also following my command. Let's head out. The most important thing in Saint Mountain already belongs to you. Okay. This corridor is a pain in the ass. Without the guidance of the Infinity Ruler, I really can't find the end of this place. Now since we've taken over the God's domain, it's time to change the rules of the Saint Mountain. Beside the Saint Spring, after fighting for so long, there is still no winner, and no one has won the remaining 3 Saint Springs. The competition for becoming saint is really fierce. Look, Luo Zheng is back. But how can he move so fast like that? And he seems to have a different aura. Isn't he going to steal another Saint Spring? Steal your Saint Spring? You're all overthinking it. Let me open your eyes. What's going on? What is happening? It's impossible. Could he create so many Saint Springs with just a wave of his hand? Doesn't this mean that everyone can become saint? Then we don't have to fight each other. Haha, I can become a saint too. So can. With all these Saint Springs, we'll have enough to share. You want to share? You're all thinking too much. In the future, the rules of becoming a saint will be changed. But now I have some things to deal with. It will take a long time for Chen Wan Yijian and the others to build their universe, and there is nothing else in the Saint Mountain. It's time to 60 out and meet those Xuanyuan guards. What happened to Luo Zheng? He can change the rules of becoming saint. Don't forget that he just controlled all these Saint Springs. What did he get? No one knows what he got, but it must be something we will never be able to reach. Outside God's domain. I advise you to stop struggling. The result is the same. Why not be obedient and let me give you a good time? A wishful thinking. They can't fight back now, so they'll have to wait with us. We don't need so many people here. You go to the space channel and continue digging down. Yes, sir. The chaotic array is the representative of array upon array, and the flames in the array will absorb part of the energy on the new moon, disturbing Slaughter Punishment Moonlight and making it impossible to operate. But Slaughter Punishment Moonlight relies on divine crystals to maintain it, while the chaotic array is supported solely by my own strength. I don't know how long I can hold out. 10,000 knot domain. Xuanyuan guard won't find us, right? We have already teleported hundreds of times, and we are still stuck in a small area that is not well known, and they should not be able to find us. The universe shook twice, indicating that 2 people have become saints, but the last shock did not come. Among the 3 of them, would one have an accident? The competition at Saint Mountain will not end so soon, and it is useless for us to speculate like this. Everything depends on the final result. So you were hiding here. Xuanyuan guard. They still found us. They must have some kind of secret tracking technique in God's domain. Go to my inner world, where there is the protection of the ruling slate. They dare not invade rashly. HMPH, seal. The space is sealed. Trying to run away from us. Impossible. Anyone who attacks our Xuanyuan guard will have to pay the price. I have underestimated them, to be found like this. It's going to be difficult to deal with them. Outside the Saint Mountain. Do you think Luo Zheng has become a saint? I think so. After all, the God's domain just shook twice. I wonder who the other saint is. There's movement at the door. Is someone coming out? Is it Luo Zheng? He actually didn't become a saint. Since he came out like this before he became a saint, he might end up in a very miserable situation. Those Xuanyuan guards won't let him go. Commandment Mountain. Once Luo Zheng steps into God's domain. Outside the Saint Mountain. Is this the thunder punishment of the ruling slate? There is such a powerful coercion. Alliance's floating island. I can't breathe with this pressure. What the hell is this, the end of the world? Who knows? I only joined the floating island less than 2 years ago, and it has been nothing but trouble. I wish I hadn't come. I feel like the island is sinking. Not good. Go back and support the floating island. The floating island can't bear this coercion. This coercion is too strong, but fortunately, it is scattered all over the floating islands, and it can barely hold it. Saints from other clans also held back the floating island in time. unfortunately. Sigh, I didn't Xuanyue expect that the top 3 floating islands would end in this way. The Hall of Saints. The power of this ruling slate is indeed Luo strong. If I hadn't stabilized here, the Saint Halls would have been shocked by this coercion. But the ruling slate was activated, indicating that Luo Zheng left from Saint Mountain alive. It would be good if Luo Zheng was obliterated by the power of the rules of the slate. But if Luo Zheng really inherited the nascent will and is not afraid of the power of the rules, could he reverse the situation and control this power instead? Whether or not he actually inherited the nascent will, we will know soon. Big Brother. Big Brother, Luo Zheng is out now. Could it be that he has already inherited the nascent will? Not necessarily. Moreover, Kai Yu suppressed the nascent will at the beginning, so perhaps there will be great limitations after its birth. Even assuming he does inherit it, he won't automatically become the master of the god's domain. Words are useless now. The thunder punishment has been activated. The outcome will be decided here and now. All right. The oppressive force on the floating island has disappeared. Fortunately, I came back in time and stabilized the floating island. It seems that the thunder punishment of ruling slate is coming to Luo Zheng. There shouldn't be such a powerful rule on the ruling slate, right? How did Luo Zheng violate the ruling slate? Could it be Xuanyuan Wei's doing? He previously collected divine martial coins, probably for this thunder punishment. That fishbone emits a strong bloody smell. This must be the forbidden artifact that requires the consumption of blood. The one standing in the middle is probably the Pang Miao Big Brother, that turtle dove saint mentioned. You want to use the ruling slate to subdue me? Then let's give it a try. This power. This thunder punishment actually has such immense power, just looking at it makes one's heart tremble with fear. Fortunately, we supported Dongfang Chunjun from the beginning and brought all the saints under control. If the powerful families unite and use the divine martial coins to set a rule against us, I'm afraid we would all be directly obliterated by this thunder punishment. This is my last chance. After a stick of incense. The thunder punishment actually lasts for so long. I don't know when it will stop. It stopped. He's actually unharmed. How is that possible? Luo Zheng is safe and sound. The power of the thunder punishment has been fully absorbed by me. Is this the outcome you wanted? I didn't expect that you would really obtain the nascent will. Everyone, go. Kill Luo Zheng. Luo Zheng, only one of us can survive today. It's the power of the silent scepter. Could Shi Xiaoqiao be in danger? 2 of the Xuanyuan guards are missing. To force Shi Xiaoqiao to use the silent scepter, it must be them. It seems. We need to take a break. 10,000 knot domain. Faster. As soon as we can fly away from this imprisonment area, we can teleport to the godly refinement land. The silent scepter can only last for 6 breaths. Those 2 Xuanyuan guards can already break free from its control now. Do you think you can escape from me with this scepter? Wishful thinking. Even if you escape from this area, all I have to do is to continue expanding the range of the spatial restriction, and you won't be able to escape. Die. The turtle dove saint can resurrect even after death through the universe, but once I die, it's truly the end for me. But there's no other way. Jiyu Bei, it's a pity in the end. What's that sound? Luo Zheng. That was close. If you hadn't used the silent scepter, I wouldn't have known. Interesting. Finally, there's a decent opponent in the entire god's domain. I'm going to fight you for 300 rounds. You may want to fight, but I don't have time to play with you.